Today, we're going to save your teacher's time by taking all of your student support documentation and bringing it together in one place. In most schools, when it comes to all of our student support documentation, things tend to be a little bit all over the place, right? So if I'm working with a small group, maybe like in a tier 2 intervention, that may be progress monitoring on a spreadsheet. If I am trying to review a student's 504 plan, that may be in some other system. If I want to make a request for intervention of our RTI team, that may be initiated somewhere else. And then all the data that's like sort of feeding that whole thing is often in yet another system, right? So today what we want to do is try to draw all those things together. So in front of me, I have a teacher's dashboard in what's called on-course MTSS. If you haven't seen this before, I have all of my small groups that I'm working with over in the top left-hand corner. I have a list of my individual students that are enrolled in at least one intervention. And so I've chosen this child here. His name is Adam. And I've chosen Adam, and on the right-hand side, I can see some quick things. Number one, he has 2 active interventions or supports in place. One is helping us to identify and address barriers to a chronic absenteeism issue with Adam. And then down here below, I'm working with him on a sentence combining exercise that I'm doing progress monitoring right here in on-course MTSS. So it's not happening in another spreadsheet. So that's nice. Another thing that's going on here is that I have access to all that student's documentation, right? So if I wanted to launch his 504 plan, for example, I can come in here, open that 504 plan, read a couple notes right from here. If I wanted to open that student's IEP, I have access to all of that. But let's say that in the course of working with that child, I've identified something that I feel like I need more support in. Like maybe that student needs a more intensive tier 3 intervention. I want to initiate an intervention request or an I&RS request for assistance. So what we've done here with this screen is we've added this button here to be able to request assistance right here. The nice thing about that is it's now going to start to collect information. Okay, what do we want our I&RS or RTI team to know? Did the parent request this of you? Are you requesting this yourself? Did somebody else come to you about this? What are the reasons for assistance? Identify your concerns. So we've given you a few places where you can come in and just check some boxes, leave some detailed notes. And the great thing about this is that this is going to now kick off your parent forms and letters. It's going to alert your intervention teams. And again, rather than sprawling into a bunch of different places, now we have everything we need here in this one place. The wonderful thing about that is that we get to raise the awareness for all of the staff. If you haven't seen what's called the student story, what the student story does is it brings now everything together for that child. So be that their attendance or their discipline or their assessment scores, and then also any active interventions that are in play will show up right here. So again, bringing everything together can save everybody an incredible amount of time. So if you're not using any of these tools and you want to learn more about them, just leave me a comment, email me at Trey, TRE@oncoursesystems.com, and we can show you more.